Oh, hey, LaBeard, it's your boy Big Beard B, and we back for another edition of Big Beard Business. Today we are back with yet another fragrance review, and today's review is on a fragrance I've been searching high and low for. Now, the fragrance in today's video comes from a company that I was just introduced to this year, and I keep saying this, so shout out to Dan over at the channel, Center Waters, for putting me on with this house, as he sent me some samples. Actually sent me a sample for Nishane's Hacivat, and from there I just was into buying these fragrances. But this fragrance was actually sent to me for review from my good people over at Maxaroma. They looked and said, what do you need? And I said, this thing here, because it was difficult for me to find. So the fragrance that I'm talking about is Karagoz from the house of Nishane. Now, let me tell you about why I wanted this fragrance. I'll talk to you about this fragrance and obviously give you my official opinion and rating. Now, I initially saw this particular fragrance on their Instagram page. And when I say their Instagram page, I'm talking about the house of Nishane. And within that post, they were doing something about racial injustice and talking through that and pretty much making their stance. And within that, they kind of posted up these two fragrances, which is Nishane's Karagoz and also Hacivat. And that is what really piqued my interest about this fragrance here. Now, for what I could decipher from some of that messaging about this fragrance is that these two fragrances are essentially the same, but very different, all right? So they have some of the same notes, flipped around just a bit, and with this, you get a completely different fragrance. Now, don't quote me on that because I'm not 100% sure, and I'm trying to go back from memory on a post that I saw months ago. But enough about that. Let's get down to this thing here. Now, as I just showed you the actual presentation for this thing, this is pretty similar to what you could get out of any of the Nishane fragrances. Actually, it's exactly the same. All right, you get this pull-out box here. It doesn't. It didn't want to come out, so I had to do what I had to do. Now, this fragrance is their 50 ml, and this is what they look like. And most of my fragrances from them are in this 50 ml. And the 100 mls look like this, so it's like a bigger bottle. This one's like a cube, where this one's a little small slither, all right, of that cube. 50 ml versus 100 ml, but they look pretty much the same. All of them, at least the ones that I have. I know there are some different ones and come in like these circular bottles, but I do not have any of those in my collection yet. I think I have like 10 or 11 of them thus far. But I'm gonna keep on searching, and this is a house that I am excited to really get all of them within the collection. So as I begin to do that, I will bring them to you. It's just difficult for me to do all of their reviews, as have other people to review. Now, some of your notes for Karagoz are as follows. In the top, we have pineapple, black grape, and mixed herbs. In the heart of this fragrance, we have patchouli, neroli, and jasmine. And then finally, in the base of this fragrance, we have vetiver, amber, and oud. All right, so as you can tell from those notes, there are some wide range of notes within this fragrance. So in the top here, we have that black grape, we have vetiver in the base, we have some oud here as well. So there's a lot going on with this scent, and what that translates into is a fragrance that is potent. Now, I'll go ahead and attack this now. Traditionally, when we talk about these fragrances and pineapple, I know the antennas go up and we begin to think of other fragrances out there with pineapple notes that really replicate a fragrance from Creed, which is Aventus. And in this case here, that pineapple is nowhere close to Aventus. So if you are thinking that, hey, I want a pineapple fragrance and I want Aventus, or if you're sick of pineapple fragrances that smells similar to Aventus, then this is a fragrance you may want to try out. To me, with Karagoz here, I get a fragrance that is sparkling. It has some brightness into it. This one is definitely woody. It's fruity, but it also has this earthiness along with it that is quite different than any of the other fragrances that I've smelled, with the exception of one from this house so far. In fact, when you think about pineapple notes, a lot of the times you get something that's super bright, super fresh, but with this one here, it takes a different approach. This one does have this sweetness brought in, or fruitiness brought in, kind of pulled in together here, but this fragrance just goes in so many different directions, but it works. Now, for those of you who've been around on this channel for a while, then you know that traditionally I am not a fan of neroli within fragrances. In fact, I tend to despise it a lot. But in this case here, I don't get a fragrance that is super heavy in neroli, so it's almost undetectable for me. What I can get and pick up from neroli in this fragrance is some of that freshness, all right? So overall, I would say this is an uber fresh fragrance. To me, I would say this one here, Nishane Hacivat, is a uber fresh fragrance. But to me, this one is not at all. You have this underlying freshness within this fragrance, but for me, this one more so lands in this fruity, earthy fragrance that really comes off and shows depth and dimension within a scent, and one that if you are a fragrance connoisseur, a fragrance lover, or someone who is looking to explore something just a bit different than your typical run-of-the-mill fragrances, then this is one that you will most likely enjoy. Now, to that same point, I have to be completely honest with this, as I am with anything, because I want to make sure that you guys fully get the full picture and scope of this fragrance. Although this one was sent to me by Maxaroma, shout out to y'all for this review. Again, all opinions and thoughts on this fragrance are my own. And one of the things that I will say with this fragrance, although I think that this is a really, really nice fragrance, I don't think that this fragrance is for everyone. When I think about the earthiness within this scent, it comes off in a way that if you are not used to upscale fragrances, if you're not used to fragrances that aren't just strictly about compliments, then you may not truly enjoy this scent, all right? Something about that earthiness in this fragrance for someone who is beginning may come off to be something that is a bit dirty, a bit skanky, and something that they find to be unenjoyable. However, if you have a seasoned nose and you're looking for something that is a bit different, then give this one a shot. For me, I'm going to lean towards this one being a nighttime scent, night out scent, and this one is marketed as a unisex fragrance. Personally, I believe that this one is a masculine scent, or definitely leans more on the masculine side, but that is my personal opinion, all right? You wear what you want to wear, and trust me, I'll be a-okay with that, all right? But again, for me, this one leans more on the masculine side, and definitely a fragrance that has, again, that richness. It's still sparkling, it still has some sweetness to it, but those are all underlined for me. You get some of that patchouli, that vetiver. The oud in this fragrance isn't something that is super aggressive, so when you hear that in this fragrance, don't think that it is. However, you can detect something in the backbone or the base of this fragrance that kind of gels everything together that can be a bit distracting to the nose if you aren't into those type of fragrances. So keep that in mind prior to going out and buying this thing on your own. Simply put, this one is the lighter take on pineapple, darker take on pineapple here. So keep that in mind before you purchase these scents. Now, if you're going to Maxaroma, they have tons of discounts on their site, whether you're looking at Nishane fragrances, other hard to find fragrances with their site, or some of the more popular ones are there as well. Be sure to check them out. And also, while you're there, you can check out the influencer bundles, or thus fragrance reviewer bundles, where you can go in and check out our curated list of fragrances for a specific month. You can go in and purchase them. You get 8 mLs of each, and you get some from a lot of us guys and girls out there. Check them out, see which one you really enjoy, or one that you think you will enjoy. They are all there. I'll have my link listed down below if you're looking to check it out for this month of October. Now back to this fragrance here. This fragrance here, all in all, has very good performance on it. Very similar to what I get with Hacivat. That fragrance does well for me, as well as this one. This fragrance here, again, has that additional oomph behind it, a bit more power, a bit more aggression. This one here is for the night out. And with that, this fragrance has this again, this grittiness within this fragrance, although it has this brightness that's brought in again from those fruity notes and that neroli, this one is still kind of gritty, and that I do enjoy. So all in all, projection on this thing, it does project. You're definitely going to smell this one 2 to 3 feet plus on this scent. In terms of longevity, for me, I've gotten great longevity on this thing. I've gotten well over 10 hours of longevity on this, and again, this thing is no joke when it comes down to again, that grittiness, that depth and dimension behind the fragrance. This definitely has it, and then sillage is definitely there as well. Do I think this one's going to be the biggest compliment for you? No, not at all. I don't think this one's going to garner you the most compliments, but this one is definitely going to help you stand out, and then you could have a conversation from there and see how things goes for you. Traditionally, I say go between 3 and 7 sprays on a fragrance, but this one here, again, I'm not going to tell you to go that high on this fragrance because I think that it has this grittiness and this earthiness about it that could go wrong if oversprayed. On this fragrance, I'm going to tell you to go 2 to 5 sprays on this thing here, and you should be good to go. All in all, solid fragrance in my personal opinion. I would give this one a 7.5. It lacks some points for versatility. I don't think this one is a super versatile scent. Reduce some for compliment factor, and that brings us to the 7.5 in my personal opinion. That's my thoughts on this fragrance. Again, I am enjoying this house a lot, okay? I've been diving in, I've been purchasing a lot of them with my own money. Again, this one was sent to me by the homies over at Maxaroma, so be sure to check them out. There you have it. That's my take on this fragrance, Karagoz from the house of Nishane. Let me know, what is your favorite from the house? Are there any that I need to try? I think one is called Wulong or something like that I need to check out. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on these fragrances because I want them all, like Pokemon. There you have it. As always, I'm your boy, Big Beating for the like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend and we are back again. And you already know what I need you to do. Just hit the goddamn bell.